This interview is a paid advertisement. It was produced on behalf of the company and is considered investor relations activity under Canadian securities law. All statements and opinions are those of the guest and should not be construed as investment advice. Please do your own due diligence or consult a registered investment advisor. Hello and welcome back to Frankfurt. My name is Kai Hoffmann. I'm the JR mining guy over on X, and of course, your host of this channel. And I'm looking forward to introducing you, or reintroducing you actually, Bart Jaworski with Group 11. Bart, thanks so much for joining us again.
Thanks, Kai. Yeah, great to be here.
I was looking through old videos. It's been over a year since we spoke.
Yep.
It's been a while. So we might have to catch up our audience about Group 11. Maybe we'll start at the top again. Who's Group 11? What are you guys up to?
Well, we've made the most significant discovery in Ireland in the last decade. It's zinc, lead, silver, and now we're getting more and more copper. And of course, anytime we see the zinc, we are seeing germanium, which is quite germane being in Germany here. So that's a metal that's actually skyrocketed in terms of pricing. I think we're at $150 per ounce on the back of supply constraints, serious supply constraints in Europe and in the US. So that's an interesting metal. And we've had some really big hits, especially May this year. We had 6 meters of nearly 1,000 grams per ton of silver and about 4% copper. So that really took people by surprise, saying Group 11 is no longer just a zinc story, it's definitely a copper story as well.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute, like what that really means also to the valuation, of course. Usually second question I'd like to ask you in those intro conversations is really just cap structure.
Yeah.
Where do you stand? How many shares do you have outstanding? What's the cash position?
We're 260 million shares outstanding, market cap of around $100 million. We were trading sort of between the 40-cent level, 42 cents. I think we're below 38 cents recently. So we're doing pretty well. We used to be a 10 million market cap company, until we made the discovery. So the share price appreciation has been fantastic, sort of reflecting the 2.6 kilometers of strike we have. Cash-wise, we've never been in a better cash position in terms of being able to deploy that as well. We're at $8.4 million. Cormark just raised us 5.75 million Canadian with Beacon. So we're very thankful that was a bought deal. And so that basically buys us over 25,000 meters of drilling over the next 18 months.
We'll
cash
get to
costs,
use of proceeds in a second here,
yeah.
Right? But just run me back through the financing. It was a bought deal, obviously.
Bought deal, yeah.
30 the terms, warrants?
No warrants, 32-cent deal. So it was a nice, clean deal. So, yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic. Who are the major shareholders, besides Michael Gentili, obviously?
Glencore. So that's the major one to mention. Both Michael and Glencore at about 14% of the pie. We have about 8% institutional interest, and that includes Jean-Francois Tardif, Timolo, JFT Strategies, Ixius is another one. So that's that. And then predominantly high net worth individuals, family offices, some of my ex-colleagues from Raymond James. There's about 800 shareholders altogether, I would say, if not more than that.
Yeah. Do you still have any warrants outstanding that we need to be
there's about
concerned about?
13 million warrants, which is a pretty small proportion relative to the fully diluted share count out there. They are in the money. They are trickling in, which actually helps us quite a bit. So we get a check here and there for 50 grand here, 50 grand there. Some options outstanding as well. There's only a few million options outstanding. Those are also in the money as well. But again, those haven't been, those have been trickling in. They've been in the money for a long time, and they're not sort of hitting us or anything like a wall. It's just trickling in now and again. So
what's the exercise price of the warrants?
They're sort of 18, there's I think 12 cents to 28 cents, if I remember correctly. And the options, again, are sort of in that ballpark, sort of 10 cents to 18 cents range.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Free financing. You don't have to do too much, especially at the share price.
Yeah.
It's priced in. It's fully diluted anyway.
Yeah.
So
it buffers our 18-month window. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Extending it.
No. How much do you own, Bart?
I own 3.5 million shares. Yeah. So that's all bought along the way in several, starting the company and then all the way through to private, to the IPO, et cetera, and all the way through. So yeah.
Fantastic.
David, who's I started the company with, has got 2.5 million shares outstanding as well.
Let's talk about use of proceeds. Like you already started touching on it, but how are you going to spend the money? Run us a bit through the plans.
Drilling.
What's the goal for this season? Yeah.
Yeah, drilling. So costs in Ireland are super low. $150 Canadian per meter.
All in?
No, all in. That's including assays. So again, why is that? Because a lot of people are surprised. There's no helicopter, no road building. We're not hanging off the side of a cliff, and the drillers get to go home each day instead of a camp. We don't have camp costs. So all those, there's about 3 operators in town as well. So anyway, cash costs are low, and that's basically where all our money, obviously outside of overheads, IR, et cetera, those types of costs, but basically everything, we're trying to maximize costs going into the drill bit, and again, maxing out that 25,000 meters, hopefully maybe to 28,000 meters over the next 18 months. And predominantly, 90% of that is going to be drilled at our Ballywire discovery, extending our 2.6 kilometers that we've intersected. You know, very strong, robust. I don't want to say ore grade, but it is ore grade, but it's very, very. I know it's. I don't want to say that. We're not saying that, but very robust mineralization over 2.6 kilometers that we've pierced, but we have a 6 kilometer long trend. So our job really is to take what we've already discovered. We have 3 other gravity anomalies we want to test. So we're hoping that we see more of the same with those 3, and then we just discovered a deeper copper horizon, and we've pierced that with our first hole. This was a theory we had. We've actually proven that concept. So what we're trying to do is take what we've already discovered, multiply it by 4, and then multiply it by 2 again with the discovery of this deeper copper horizon. That's essentially what we're hoping to do. That's our that's what's on our mind over the next 18 months.
I was going to say, like, what's the goal of this scene? Are you planning to produce a resource, initial resource?
You know, there's growing. No, we have 2 resources, but they're on Stone Park and Ballinallac. Ballinallac is non-core to us. Stone Park is within our realm, within the Limerick area, so within 20K of our discovery. So certainly we have 2 deposits in the back pocket, but our discovery is not yet. It's only 3 years old, this discovery. We only have 60 holes into about 20,000 meters of drilling. So it's a little early for us to be doing that, especially given we have so much work to do a long trend along that 6 kilometers. So first things first, let's see what we have. Let's see what we have, and then do we have a copper horizon underneath it, which it seems like we do with that first drill hole. And once we have that detailed in a little bit, then we can start thinking about crystallizing an initial MRE. The good thing, Kai, is we have a very well-behaved system, and it's a relatively shallow system. We're only 300 meters deep, so we're not burning tons of money getting down to kilometers deep. And the geostatistics is nice and steady. So it's a well-behaved system. New discoveries that can be multiple horizons, different orientations that can be folded and faulted. Here it's nice and even. All at the base of the wall source and limestone, it's all one horizon. So that means when we come to that point of putting a resource together, we shouldn't have to drill a lot to sort of make the engineers happy to put a resource together. So hopefully, yeah.
Fantastic. How are you allocating like drill rigs to the higher horizon with the zinc, lead, silver horizon versus now the new copper discovery? Like, how are you splitting that up?
Yeah, that's an excellent question because we could go 2 ways about it. We can go all in on the copper, we can go all in on the zinc, or we can do something in between. Right now, we're somewhere in between because certainly we want to know what are the 3 other gravity anomalies representing. Because for all we know, there could be 30 meters of 30% in one of those. We want to drill that now and make sure we know what we're dealing with. Or maybe the geology is completely different. Maybe it's a facies change in the limestones, and maybe something is completely different, and there's no hope of finding zinc there. So we want to know which end of the spectrum are we on first. Do a few holes on each of those, cover that off. We have a very good feeling that, and we're quite optimistic that those are all zinc. There's zinc mineralization along the trend here, because the lithology is the same, and there's evidence there suggesting we should find more of the same. But to your point, copper is really where it's at in terms of market interest. The majors are all hunting for copper. Obviously, the European Union takes a strong view on copper being critical. And if we find more copper, we can avail of fast-track status under the CRMA, which is the Critical Raw Materials Act that was just passed.
For that, though, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so that's the thing. So we're working towards that. So I think we're going to have a parallel approach. We certainly want to go after the copper, and we are going after the copper. There's a number of holes we've already drilled on that target, and we will continue to do that. But I think it'll be in parallel with also stepping out along our 6 kilometers. Because look, it's all the same structure. It looks like it's all the same structure feeding the zinc and the copper. So effectively, if we find zinc, it's very likely the copper will follow down below. and the zinc is shallower. So we might as well find that first, and then follow it up with the copper first. So it'll be two balls in the air.
Without getting too technical, but it runs a bit through
Yeah.
the process. Like, how did you discover the copper horizon? Like, how did you get to it? Was it visible in geophysics? Was it?
Nope.
So
No.
So how did you make that discovery?
Yeah, so we were seeing it in the drill core already. So in the zinc horizon, the copper's seeping through.
Okay.
So in the feeders.
You have native copper?
No, it's more chalcopyrite, predominantly chalcopyrite, tennantite tetrahedrite. And then a lot of silver along with it. You know, we're getting gangbuster silvers up to, our highest kick was 3,800 grams per ton. Our average, we're consistently getting between 50 and 150 grams per ton silver. So we're getting phenomenal numbers on the silver, way above the typical Irish grades, which are 0 to 60, basically grams per ton. So how do we find the coppers? We were already piercing it in the feeders along the zinc horizon, so it's kind of punching through. And then we realized that down below, about 100 to 200 meters below us, should be something called the lower limestone shale, which is known to host copper in this area, and then just in this area of Ballywire. So there's a mini copper belt within Ireland, and we're within it. And so we put one and one together, and we thought there should be something down there, so we drilled it, and lo and behold, we got some really nice numbers, five different copper-silver horizons.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Runs a bit through catalysts. Near term, midterm, what can we expect? Of course, drill results, I'm assuming.
It's all drill. So, I mean, for the next 18 months, it's going to be drilling, again, like I said, 25 to 28,000 meters of drilling, and it's year-round drilling. So it's not like we have seasonality in Ireland. So it's basically steady eddy all the way through. We've got something like 12 holes drilled already, in the process of being logged all the way through to sampled and taken to the lab, and we're just waiting for assay results. So there'll be a steady stream of news flow from now till then, and just a matter of getting through all those exciting exploration targets and drilling those off, really.
Yeah.
So,
are you working on any parallel tracks, meaning permitting, metallurgy? I'm assuming you are, but
well,
what does that look like?
there is one other parallel track in that we have a Palace Green lookalike just to the 10 kilometers north of our discovery, and then by the same token, about 10 kilometers south of the Palace Green deposit, Glencore's Palace Green deposit, which is a huge 45 million ton deposit, 8.4% zinc and lead. We have a lookalike target to that. They're basically on the north side of the circular volcanic feature. Our target is on the south side. It's essentially a mirror image. The geology is identical north-south. It's just the north side was drilled first, the discovery came there, and the south side was neglected for many years until we came along. So we're just starting to drill that now. We will be drilling a few holes on that. And so that's another exciting
What's the name of that
potential.
target so we can follow along?
Carrickettle West.
Yeah, you might have to spell that for me later, but
Yeah, Carrickettle West.
Okay.
But yeah, that's an exciting target. It's got huge potential because obviously between Palace Green and Stone Park, that's 50 million tons of mineralization there. And if we can find something similar on the south side, maybe even higher grade, because that seems to be where the faulting is, that could be super exciting as well. But again, we're not talking much about that because we haven't discovered it yet. But it's looking tantalizingly close, and we're hoping with the next few batches of drill holes we can make a discovery there.
you're drilling there right now?
We will be drilling very shortly, hopefully in this side of Christmas. Yeah, we'll start.
Fantastic. Yeah, you can work year-round in Ireland.
Exactly, yeah.
It might rain a bit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Probably
it
not
helps.
a
You know,
lot.
it helps to have water when you're drilling. So for
Good
sure.
point.
Yeah.
Good point. Fantastic. Bart, really appreciate you joining me here
Thanks,
on,
Guy.
on site. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Likewise.
And everybody else, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope this was insightful. Always great to catch up with people in person. Really interesting story there. Curious to learn more about the copper side of things. That's a new angle that I'd love to explore personally. So really appreciate that. If you haven't done so, hit that like and subscribe button. Helps us out tremendously, reaching a wider investor audience, and we much appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with more. Take care.